फॉर्मली हम शुरू करते हैं. अस्सलाम
ठीक.
वालेकुम एवरीवन. Let me introduce Wajiha Zamir. Wajiha is a educationist, a true educationist, जिन्होंने तालीम मुकम्मल करने के साथ साथ एजुकेशन का काम किया. She is B.Ed and M.Ed in both cases. She is a gold medalist. And she also did MPhil in education, and inshallah, we will call you the Dr. Wajia Zamir within a 2 to 3 years. And Wajia is doing different jobs with the different organization like VirtueCom, Roadmap Conference, Hamdard University and Ikra University as well. So she is a well-known in Karachi, and I hope कि हमारा ये आज का जो सेशन है it will be a good learning experience for us. So we are looking forward to you. और मैं ज़्यादा वक्त नहीं लूँगा वजिया का तारुफ लेने में. आप इनको लिंक्डइन पे भी देख सकते हैं, आप इनको फेसबुक पेज पे भी देख सकते हैं जहां डिटेल में इनके बारे में मौजूद है. सो वजिया प्लीज गो अहेड ना.
Thank you. So, Assalamu alaikum. Hello. Welcome to the session, everyone. Everyone across the globe. I will try to be bilingual. I do tend to be mostly, I actually tell people that I feel that English is my first language, since it's the first language that my parents spoke to me in. But I'll try that I keep a blend between Urdu and English. Okay, so today's topic is adaptive leadership in the light of COVID-19. Now, why did I come up with this topic and why did I send it to these people? Was that I've been in the training and development part of education for a pretty long time now. And I feel that we've emphasized too much on teacher development. But without leadership development in schools and educational organizations, I feel that we might fail. I have a fear, that is a personal fear that I have. So I came up with this topic, adaptive leadership. Today, what we are going to do is that I am sharing a screen with you. It's a small presentation that I have sort of made, and it covers the topic, the session objectives as well. So, first and foremost, we are going to comprehend the meaning of adaptive leadership. And I hope that you people will unmute yourselves and answer questions as I keep on asking them so that we are interactive. हमें एक दूसरे से interact करने का chance मिले. मैं बोलती रहूंगी. If I keep on speaking, then it's going to become boring. Then we are going to identify and differentiate between technical problems that educational organizations face and the adaptive problems. Then we are going to look at factors that influence adaptive leadership, and we will develop a working understanding of adaptive leadership model. So this is what I plan to try and do in this little time that I have. Okay, as everyone has told you, as you have seen, I am Wajiha. Okay, so now moving on, this is a presentation that I am sharing, like this is a quotation that I am sharing with you people. मैं इसको पढ़ने नहीं वाली हूँ. I'm not going to read it out loud. I want you people to read it. Now, what I have done is I've highlighted certain words in a different color. Take 2 minutes to read and then come up with like an understanding and share that understanding with the rest of us by unmuting yourself. So that's 2 minutes that you people have to read it. इसको read करें. जो स्पेशली जो वर्ड्स हाईलाइट हुए हुए हैं जिनका कलर डिफरेंट है उसको अंडरस्टैंड करें और फिर अपने आप को अनम्यूट करके आप हमसे शेयर कर सकते हैं जो आपकी अंडरस्टैंडिंग है. सो दैट्स 2 minutes फॉर यू पीपल. So are we ready to answer questions? Like to share our understanding of this quotation, this extract that I've taken from a book. इसको पढ़ के आप अपनी अंडरस्टैंडिंग शेयर करने को अगर रेडी हैं तो प्लीज अनम्यूट योरसेल्फ.
ओके, मैं मेरे ख्याल से शुरू करना चाहूंगा.
श्योर.
मुझे इसमें जो काफी हेल्प किया, जो आपने हाईलाइट किया हुआ है, हाईलाइटेड वर्ड, कि फर्स्ट थिंग इज लीडरशिप इज अ चैलेंजिंग थिंग एंड यू नीड टू अडॉप्ट योर स्टाइल और योर वर्किंग स्टाइल और योर वैल्यूज नाउ एंड देन. And it is very difficult to be which values and which characteristics should I carry with me or should I left behind. So that's a interesting part of this definition to look me. It's a challenge. First thing, leadership adaptation is a challenge, and we need to adapt in every and each situation. And it is very difficult to decide what sort of the style I need to take with me or to left behind. That's very interesting.
Okay.
Yes, it is interesting. So anyone would want to add something? किसी को कोई चीज़ add करनी है यहाँ पे?
Can I?
Yes, sure.
Yes,
sure,
I agree
sure.
with Yusuf also. Yes, here that leadership, the person or the person or yes, who are adapting that condition, the situation which created, yes, or they are in that situation, yes. And if there is a challenging, as you said, that in the COVID-19, the leadership have to analyze the situation, yes, situation, and adapt and plan and go further how to support their workers, yes, employees, like this. Yes, this is my
Exactly. So basically, the phrase challenging adaptation yourself. So leadership talks about, challenging yourself and first and foremost adapting, accepting those changes yourself. The latest research that's coming across actually tells us that leadership cannot have a rigid point of view, or the leaders cannot be rigid in their approach. And then what leaders have to do, उनको करना ये होता है that they have to examine their whole value system, the value system in which which is surrounding them, and they have to pick up values that keep, the things that they want to keep in the system and the things that they want to discard in the system. So the latest leadership theories, the latest leadership practices actually talk about being very changeable, open to change. And also, it's a very difficult thing कि आप अपना एक पूरा वैल्यू सिस्टम उठाएं जो मुझे इतने सालों से सिखाया गया है, मुझे बताया गया है कि नहीं यही वैल्यूज हैं, उसको मैं एग्जामिन करूं, उसको मैं तोड़ूं, I break it down and I tell myself, all right, the values that you had 10 years back are not working anymore. ये काम नहीं कर रही हैं जो 10 साल पहले की वैल्यूज है, इसको उठा के साइड पे रख दो अब जो नई वैल्यूज आई हैं वो तुम्हें ज्यादा काम करेंगे, they are going to work for you and you adapt those. So that is actually a very difficult thing. But then the actual reality is that leadership is very difficult. And that is what is adaptive leadership, basically. All right. So as we move on, I have 3 questions. What is leadership? We have discussed that. How many types of leaderships exist? And why are we talking about adaptive leadership? So how many types of leadership do you think exist? और हम क्यों adaptive leadership की बात कर रहे हैं? हमें क्या need है उसकी बात करने की? So if someone can just unmute, just quickly give me a random answer and then we move on.
Yeah, I'm jumping in. The first
Yes,
thing
sure.
is when we say leadership is all about vision, having a vision, and preparing for change, because you cannot bulldoze change. So you have to prepare yourself for change. And when you talk about the leadership, how many types? There are more than a dozen types, pedagogical leadership and all these leaderships. We're talking about adaptive leadership is under a scenario because things have started changing due to the COVID. And now we think that we need different approaches and adopt new techniques. Otherwise, we are going to lose ourselves and our leadership styles, and our people are making them uncomfortable. I think if we literally follow the way we were doing things before the COVID, it's not going to work the same way now. So I that we need to talk about leadership, and it can be leadership and adaptability, or it can be adaptive leadership. The way you want to put it, that's your call.
Exactly. Would anyone else like to jump in here, put in their opinion? बताना चाहेगा कोई कि हम अपना ओपिनियन स्टेट करना चाहेगा? Okay. So basically, why are we talking about adaptive leadership is what I personally believe is that adaptive leadership should have come in a long time back, at least 5-6 years back. हमें अपने स्कूल लीडर्स को, अपने एजुकेशनल लीडर्स को adaptiveness में train कर देना चाहिए था. What COVID-19 has actually done for us is a huge favor. It has opened us to new ideas that we were not open to, and it has actually taught us that leadership has to keep evolving, and that is what the basic meaning of the word adaptive is, something that keeps changing over time. So as we'll go further, we'll see how changeable, how like visionary and futuristic adaptive leaders have to be in their approach, and how they can be that. So we are moving towards the big concept, which is actually the meaning of leadership, adaptive leadership. Now, again, let me introduce to you the two brilliant minds who came up with this theory of adaptive leadership. And I must state here that adaptive leadership is a relatively new theory in leadership and management. And it was a model which was introduced by Ronald Heifetz and Martin Linsky. So Heifetz says, and I have again highlighted some words in different colors. He says, it is the act of mobilizing, the word mobilizing, a group of individuals to handle tough challenges and emerge triumphant in the end. So what do I mean by mobilizing a group of individuals? Why would I want to mobilize a group of individuals? मैं क्यों चाहूंगी कि एक ग्रुप ऑफ पीपल जो है वो कुछ काम करने लगे या वो मोबिलाइज हो? Why?
Actually होता ये है कि individually you can have an impact in a certain areas or certain cloud, na? But when you mobilize people, you make a group of people who have a same vision of you, or who has associate with you, associate with your cause, your vision, mission, and they impact a lot, na? Like for example, if you decide today, I decide today donating some money for charity for promoting education. So how much money I can contribute? But as a leader, if I mobilize 50 to 60 individuals to do the same thing, it's impact a lot. Na? It's impact a lot. Similarly, if you market an idea, if you are marketing that idea by yourself, you impact a little. Na? But if you mobilize a group of people with you to handle that idea, to have that idea, so the impact will larger. No? One of my
be greater. Yeah. Yes. Okay, so now basically the leader, the adaptive leader, I agree with Yusuf. He says, like, the adaptive leader needs to not just do everything on their own. Basically, we don't exist in isolation. This is something that I keep telling people. This is what I tell my students as well when I lecture them, that nothing exists in isolation. ना मैं अकेले exist करती हूँ, ना आप अकेले exist करते हैं. हमारे साथ systems work करते हैं, ठीक है? So basically, if I am a leader, मेरे साथ बहुत सारे लोग connected होंगे. And what I can do is, in order to produce good results, I need to, sort of train these people, because अकेले मैं कोई change नहीं ला सकती हूँ. I need to train these people, and I need to train them to handle responsibilities, yes, to delegate responsibilities, to handle these challenges. It has to, even if it is my vision, I need to be able to know how I translate that vision onto other people. Why? Because I need to ensure that everyone comes out successful from that certain challenge. This is what Heifetz says, and this is what the basic definition of adaptive leadership is. Okay, now हर चीज की कोई assumptions होती हैं. Everything has some assumptions. So the assumptions for adaptive leadership basically talk about leadership playing a vital role in developing effective and innovative schools. What I say is that leadership now has a very very responsible role of developing sustainable schools. We need to talk about not just effectiveness and innovation, we need to talk about sustainability, something that lasts. What can last? Now, the strange thing is when we talk about something which stays, which lasts, that thing needs to be evolving continuously. So that is one of the assumptions of adaptive leadership. Again, adaptive leadership says, जैसे अभी थोड़ी देर पहले मैंने कहा था, that nothing exists alone. Every problem is because of other problems, because of the complicated interactive systems in which it exists. Okay, every system, it can be the ecological system, it can be the financial systems around us. प्रॉब्लम एक कभी अकेले एग्जिस्ट नहीं करता है, उसके पीछे बहुत सारी चीजें होती हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इसका मैं इस तरह से एग्जाम्पल देती हूँ कि अगर एक बच्चा है and that child suddenly stops responding to you in the class, you will find out that it is not just one problem there with that child. Maybe because he's having problem at home, that is why now he has stopped his studies. Now because you stopped focusing on his studies, he is becoming rowdy maybe. So you see, nothing exists in isolation. Okay, much of human behavior reflects an adaptation to circumstances. Man evolves, man adapts. Man is an animal, social animal, and one of those creatures which quickly adapts to changes. For example, when the man was in the cave, जब वो गार में रहता था तो उसको सर्दी लगी, उसने फायर का वो किया. He found out, quickly discovered कि fire से जो है मुझे I can get warm. And then from there progress started. और जैसे जैसे इंसान को या man wanted ease, he started inventing things. The wheel came, and then the car came, and now we are talking like virtually. You don't even need me to be there in front of you. That is how adaptable we are. But the strange thing is that adaptation comes from painful circumstances. Mostly जो changes आती हैं वो कोई problem उनके पीछे होता है, और there is often a fear of losing something. Okay, what if I man invents something because he's in fear of not being able to accomplish a certain task. Maybe when he invented the wheel, he wanted to lift something heavy, and he was in the fear of not transporting that thing to the place where he wanted it to be. Maybe he was building a house for himself. अगर उसने वो wheel नहीं बनाया होता तो वो अपना house complete नहीं कर सकता था. It could have been that fear. I mean, I remember when I was doing my MPhil, this is a fear I think many of you can relate to. When I was doing my MPhil, my fear was if I don't complete my thesis on time, I might not get my degree. So that sort of made me adapt to a lot of new things. That made me learn new things and really, quickly start writing new stuff, because honestly speaking, I was told that my writing was very descriptive and it needed to be more logical and concise. So I had to adapt to those circumstances. I had to change my entire writing style. So that's how you adapt. Okay. So now what we do not know basically, or we are not able to identify, is that situations होती हैं वो दो तरह की होती हैं, problems दो तरह की होती हैं. There is the technical situation and the technical problem, and there's the adaptive situation and the adaptive problem. Now, what is the technical situation or what is the technical problem? These are very clear-cut solution problems. For example, there is no electricity today. It will have a very clear-cut solution to it. If there is no electricity, aaj bijli nahi hai, what should I do? Maybe I should light a candle, or I should maybe, start the generator. So that has a clear solution to it. And probably there is expert help available for technical solutions, because someone else at a certain point has faced that situation, has faced that problem, and has come up with a solution for that problem. Now, whereas for adaptive problems or adaptive situations, these are new things. And these are new problems. These are vague problems, and we don't have a way out of them. We are not sure how to, sort of cater to these problems. हमें नहीं पता होता ये जो adaptive problems होते हैं, adaptive situations होती हैं, ये unclear होती हैं, इनमें ये नए मसले होते हैं, और हमें नहीं पता होता कि हम इन चीजों से कैसे स्ट्रगल करें, मतलब कैसे बाहर आए. बिकॉज ये नए होते हैं, ये अनक्लियर होते हैं, तो प्रॉब्ली इनके लिए कोई एक्सपर्ट एडवाइस नहीं होगी या एक क्लियर कट सोल्यूशन नहीं होगा. ओके, ओवर हियर आई एम थ्रोइंग अ क्वेश्चन एट यू एंड आई नीड यू टू आंसर दिस. आइडेंटिफाई वन टेक्निकल सिचुएशन और प्रॉब्लम एंड वन अडेप्टिव सिचुएशन और प्रॉब्लम. मुझे एक अडेप्टिव सिचुएशन या प्रॉब्लम आइडेंटिफाई करके बताएं और एक टेक्निकल. Who can do that? Okay. Technical problem. Absenteeism is increasing in school. What do I do? It's a clear-cut problem, absenteeism. What do I do for that absenteeism? Okay, I'm repeating the question. The question is that मुझे आप एक टेक्निकल प्रॉब्लम बताएं जो क्लियर कट मसला होता है, वो जो स्कूल्स में हो सकता है, और एक एडेप्टिव प्रॉब्लम बताएं जो स्कूल्स के लिए नया हो सकता है या जिसका कोई क्लियर सॉल्यूशन ना हो. And I think we are on a countdown. So if we can quickly cater to this and then come back and rejoin the session. So who can tell me one technical problem and one adaptive problem? All right, I'll give. Yeah. Yes, Yusuf, please.
अब मैंने कहा मैं ही कुछ बोल देता हूँ. एक टेक्निकल प्रॉब्लम्स डे टू डे हमारे पास आती रहती है ना, जैसे आपने एब्सेंटिज्म बताया, या टीचर्स की कभी शॉर्टेज हो जाती है, या स्कूल में फंड्स की कमी हो जाती है, या स्टूडेंट्स फीस नहीं दे पाते, तो उसके लिए कुछ ना कुछ सॉल्यूशंस हैं, कहीं ना कहीं हमें वो उसको मिल जाता है, या कुछ स्टूडेंट्स बदतमीजी करते हैं. लेकिन ये जो एडेप्टिव सिचुएशंस हैं, जैसे आपने बताया है कि बड़ी अनक्लियर होती हैं, और मैं यही रिकॉल करने की कोशिश कर रहा था कि मेरी एजुकेशन कैरियर में वो कौन सी इस किस्म की प्रॉब्लम्स थी जो अनक्लियर थी या वेग थी या मेरे लिए नहीं थी. तो ये इसको रेक्टिफाई करना बड़ा मुश्किल हो रहा है. लेकिन अगर हम आज के सिनेरियो में देखें तो कुछ इस तरह की प्रॉब्लम्स आई जैसे कोविड-19 में आई कि हमारे पास स्कूल भी बंद हो गए, हमारे पास स्टूडेंट्स भी बंद हो गए, ना हम उनसे रब्ता कर सकते हैं, ना वो हमारी ट्रेडिशनल क्लासरूम के अंदर आ सकती हैं. तो वो सिचुएशन जो है एक नई थी कि अब जो है वो स्टूडेंट्स के साथ रब्ता कैसे होगा, या उनकी टीचिंग के और लर्निंग को हम किस तरह से कंटिन्यू कर सकते हैं. तो उसके अंदर बहुत सारे फिर सोल्यूशन निकल कर आए कि ज़ूम से हमारा तारुफ हुआ, वरना इससे पहले हम स्काइप को जानते थे कि भाई स्काइप के थ्रू जो है वीडियो कॉल हो जाती है. उसके बाद फिर हमने देखा कि अच्छा ज़ूम भी अवेलेबल है, फिर वो स्ट्रीम यार्ड वाले भी अवेलेबल हैं कि आप यूट्यूब पे कांटेक्ट कर सकते हैं. फिर उसके बाद फिर वो ब्लेंडेड लर्निंग भी आजकल अब हमने उस पर काफी हाथ सफा कर लिया है. तो वो जो फेस टू फेस टीचिंग के साथ साथ अब ये सारी जो सिचुएशन है उसको हैंडल करना आ रहा है. और इसमें इस सिचुएशन के अंदर हम बहुत ज्यादा एक्सपोज हुए टीचर ना, वो टीचर्स जो ये बिलीव करते थे कि वो चॉक एंड ब्लैक बोर्ड के सहारे वो अपना कैरियर कंप्लीट कर लेंगे और एक अच्छी सी जिंदगी गुजार कर और बड़े अच्छे से स्टूडेंट से कार्ड लेकर अपना कैरियर खत्म कर लेंगे। नाउ दे आर बिकमिंग मोर एडेप्टिव के उनको टेक्नोलॉजी भी सीखना है, अब उनको अपने लेसन्स को इंटीग्रेट भी करना है, और वो बहुत सारे जो मीडिया सोर्सेज जो अवेलेबल थे टीचिंग के लिए, जैसे एनिमेटेड वीडियोस हैं, एनिमेशन है वेबसाइट्स पे, जो जैसे मैं एक जमाने से जानता हूँ physicsclassroom.com को, आई एम नॉट प्रमोटिंग देम, बट physicsclassroom.com जो है वो छोटे छोटे एनिमेशन हैं जो कि मैट्रिक की फिजिक्स के अंदर इस्तेमाल होते हैं, तो वो किस तरह से वहां से उसको उठाकर अपने टीचिंग के अंदर अडॉप्ट कर सकते हैं। तो ये सारा बहुत सारा चीजें इस तरह से आई हैं अभी सामने ना।
Exactly. So basically, technical problems in school can be shortage of teachers, क्या कहते हैं, teacher turnover. In fact, teacher turnover can be an adaptive problem as well, because अगर आप उसके root cause पे नहीं पहुंच सकते और आपके टीचर स्कूल बार बार छोड़ रहे हैं और आपका टर्नओवर रेट बहुत ज्यादा है, तो it can be an adaptive problem as well. You have to come out of it. Like, you have to examine your entire policies. Then आपने अपना सिर्फ पॉलिसीज नहीं, आपने अपने लीडरशिप का भी बिहेवियरल एटीट्यूड जो होता है, बिहेवियरिज्म जो है, वो भी एग्जामिन करनी पड़ती है, तो दैट कैन बी एन अडैप्टिव प्रॉब्लम एज वेल। ओके, वी थिंक के स्टूडेंट अचीवमेंट जो है वो एक टेक्निकल सिचुएशन है या एक टेक्निकल प्रॉब्लम है, बट student achievement can be an adaptive problem as well, because sometimes though the students are like very good, they might be coming to school, but maybe because of the context that they are based in, or maybe because they have language barrier, that becomes adaptive then, because you don't have a clear cut way out of that situation. For example, when I was working with an NGO in Karachi, the school was supposed to be it was registered as an Urdu medium school, but those students were doing everything from grade 1 in English. The math was in English, the science was in English, and then suddenly they had to appear in their sort of board exams in Urdu. So math in Urdu or science in Urdu can be like a shocking thing. So these children were actually not able to perform, and we couldn't initially figure out what is wrong with them. Why are they not doing? Because their results, their preliminary results, their research results, everything was coming in really good. So then we figured out what the problem is, and we had to then go back and work things out, come up with a sort of solution to this problem. Now, as I said, thankfully COVID-19 has actually taught us to value adaptive problems. Like Yusuf pointed out that we never knew what blended learning was. I did my thesis on blended learning in 2015, and at that time people used to make fun of me, literally make fun of me, and they used to tell me that what is blended learning, what do you mean by that? And I'm like, my external was very happy with my thesis, and she said, oh, awesome, good job. And I would go to schools and I would tell them, like, you need to adapt technology, but at that time that thing was not there, that value for adaptiveness was not there. But within the 6 to 8 months, what we have seen is that people are now actually accepting technology and they are more adaptive. Okay. Okay, so how do we differentiate between technical and adaptive problems? We have 3 minutes in which I'm going to quickly tell you how to differentiate between adaptive and technical problems. Number one, as I said, technical problems are easy to identify. They have a clear-cut solution.
Excuse me, 1 minute, ये 3 मिनट रह गए, इससे पहले एक अनाउंसमेंट कर दें कि दोबारा उसी लिंक से लोग ज्वाइन कर लें हमें ना।
ठीक है, लोग हमें दोबारा उसी लिंक से ज्वाइन कर लें जब हम कट ऑफ होंगे।
जी जी।
They have the link, right?
जिस लिंक से आपने पहला ज्वाइन किया है ना, तो मैं तमाम लोगों से रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा, आई रिक्वेस्ट ऑल द पार्टिसिपेंट, after 3 minutes we have cut out and then you need to re-click that link and rejoin us, so we will continue our session na?
Yes.
Okay, please.
So the thing is that technical problems are very easy to identify. These are everyday problems. You can, these are problems that you face every day in the classroom, in the school, maybe in the assembly. So you know how to cater to them, you know how to deal with them. Maybe the class is too noisy today, maybe the class is too hot. Those are type of technical problems. Now adaptive problems are more vague in their sort of in the way that they come up. जिस तरह से वो आपके सामने आते हैं वो क्लियर नहीं होता. हमें नहीं पता था कोविड-19 आया, कब हम बंद हुए, everyone was shut down, everything was shut down. Even yesterday, like NCOC was having its meeting and nothing was very clear. Even NCOC right now does not actually have a proper understanding of how to go about things. It is not their weakness, basically. The thing is that the problem is such that there is no clear-cut solution to it. So what do these poor people do? They are also sort of testing solutions and reverting back and remodeling solutions if one solution does not work out. So it is not the failure of leadership. It is basically how adaptive the leadership is trying to be, in fact. Very interesting part of this presentation, the part to the future. Adaptiveness, evolution, what does it all mean? Where is it leading us? This is the part to our future. Basically, अगर हम इसको सिंपल उर्दू में बात करें, जो चीज़ें ठहर जाती हैं वो ख़राब हो जाती हैं. हम कहते हैं कि जो ठहरा हुआ पानी होता है वो गंदा हो जाता है, वो ख़राब हो जाता है. The water that stays still becomes stagnant, and the flowing river, बहता हुआ दरिया जो होता है वो it reaches its destination, वो अपनी मंजिल तक पहुंचता है. So adaptive work is something like that. It is the type of work that keeps on evolving. Now, adaptive work is done by adaptive leaders. These are people who are very futuristic and visionary in their approach. Now, I'm going to give you an example of a country that I've been admiring recently. And I've been sort of reading a lot about their education policies. Why? Because as an educationist, I believe that I need to know what is happening globally in order to implement the good things over here locally. Now, I'm going to talk about UAE, the United Arab Emirates. They have a Vision 2030. Here in our local region, we have no vision for education. This is the sad part, but that is the harsh reality that we have to live with. Now, these people actually came up with this vision in 2017. Now, see, from 2017, they're talking about 2030. Imagine, now look at the difference. In 2015 or 2017, they started thinking about the next 15, 20 years. So how cool is that? How adaptive are they? How futuristic are they in their approach? From that time only, they started bringing in a lot of implementations, a lot of changes, a lot of things started becoming very technology driven for them. So at this point where they're sitting in COVID-19, many of their schools are not, have not started face-to-face classes, but none of their schools are actually facing this problem that they have to cut down on curriculum, or they have to cut down on anything because their technology is already blended or they're already online, and they were predicting things like this way back. Another thing what they have done is that they know education is equivalent to economic sustainability. That means sustainability in education means economic sustainability. So just yesterday what they have done is that they have actually come up with this policy that, people with higher education or enrolled in higher education in the UAE are now going to get 10-year visas over there. They won't have to struggle to get visa renewal. And someone has raised their hand. So Mr. Tausif, if you would like to put in some input, given your input. Tausif Sab, you just raised your hand. Yes, we do have. Yes, our government is struggling to come up with sustainable development goals for education. We are signing things, but the thing is that with that, um, we need to be able to train first and foremost our leaders, our school leaders, especially in the public sector. And then in the private sector also, a lot of things need to change. The change needs to be combined, powered from all ends, basically. Okay, so basically what happens with adaptive work is when you do adaptive work, when you think about the future, you think about how things are today, आज ये चीज़ कैसी है और कल इसको कैसा होना है. So when you think about kal kaisa hona hai, you change the way you are working today. What I appreciate about the government today is that they're trying to come up with a uniform curriculum policy. They're thinking about why we need that uniformity across the country. And they're thinking about the future right now. Because see, having too many curricula might actually be pushing us into ethnic differences, maybe pushing us into socioeconomic differences. So maybe the government is thinking in those terms, in how to eliminate all those differences. Now, when you think about tomorrow, you basically work for tomorrow. And when the result is that your tomorrow is actually better. So that is the part of the future that the adaptive leader needs to think about and needs to translate to his or her team. Okay, so the most common cause of leadership failure is treating an adaptive problem with a technical fix. All right, over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give an example of the time when Pakistan came into existence. Just recently, I was going through history all over again, like Pakistan's history, the inception, the idea of the two-nation theory and everything. And basically what I came up with was how adaptive leadership played its role over there. We all keep on saying, you know, that somewhere 1857, the morale of Muslims was really down and they were not struggling and they were not doing anything. And people like Sir Syed Ahmad Khan and Sir Aga Khan III basically came up with adaptive fixes to these problems. They came up with an education system which was not just modern in its approach, but since the Muslims had this fear that, you know, education would detract them from their religion, they sort of also integrated a lot of moral education, a lot of value integration into that education system. So that is what they did. And that was the cause of the success and the reason that why we are sitting in a separate state today. However, leadership fails when you try to fix a unique problem, a problem that keeps on evolving itself with a solution that is standardized. Maybe, you know, not every shoe fits everyone. So if you try putting the shoe on every single person, the same shoe, you're probably not going to win. You're probably going to sort of lose out on things. Okay. So now we need to understand what are the 4 principles that an adaptive leader has to live by. एक adaptive leader के अंदर कौन से 4 सबसे अहम चीजें होनी चाहिए. Emotional intelligence. I believe IQ has now become secondary in today's world. EQ, emotional intelligence, emotional quotient has become much more significant. Why? Because if you're emotionally intelligent, you are able to cope up with a lot of things. Your communication skills are better, your collaboration skills are better, you know, your negotiation skills are way better, your problem solving skills are way better. So emotional intelligence plays a huge role over here. And emotional intelligence is taught and can be taught and should be taught. Now, organizational justice. This is so important and maybe missing in our local context, sadly. Organizational justice means that if I like someone, does not mean that they deserve that promotion. Maybe if I don't like that someone, but I believe has the talent, that person needs to be pushed up. just because कोई मेरा cousin है on job या कोई मेरा ऐसा friend है जिसको मैं पसंद करती हूँ या वो मेरी तारीफ बहुत करता है, इसका ये मतलब नहीं है कि उसको promotion वो deserve करता है. हाँ, वो उस वक्त promotion deserve करेगा जब उसके अंदर वो skills होंगे to meet that job description, to live up to that expectation, that vision of the organization. Then comes in development. Here we are talking about two types of development. The constant development of the leader, the adaptive leader, himself or herself, and the support that that leader is giving to their team to, you know, keep on evolving, to keep on developing. I've worked with a lot of schools. Please don't be offended, anyone. A lot of schools actually do not support teacher development, do not support development of their staff, which is maybe the reason that, you know, they don't evolve themselves, they stay where they are. Again, what plays a huge role is the character of the leader. How ethical am I? If I am a leader, how ethical am I? What are my personal value systems? These things play a major key role in, you know, sort of making a person adaptable. If I am rigid by character, by nature I am rigid, then मैं शायद leadership के लिए equipped नहीं हूँ. मुझे बहुत flexible होना पड़ेगा. I will have to be very flexible in my approach. Now moving on, again, in which leadership applies, in which adaptive leadership applies. Like I said, there's the systems perspective. Nothing exists in isolation. कोई चीज अकेले exist नहीं करती है. ये वो approach है जिसमें लोग कहते हैं कि हमारे सारे problems जो हैं, all our problems, they are basically entwined with each other. They are, सारे हमारे problems एक साथ जुड़े हुए हैं. कोई भी प्रॉब्लम हमारा अकेले नहीं होता है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, एक स्कूल अगर सस्टेन नहीं कर पा रहा है तो मुझे वो क्यों नहीं सस्टेन कर पा रहा है? मे बी उसके टीचर्स जो है वो उनका टर्नओवर रेट बहुत ज़्यादा है, मे बी उसका विजन मिशन जो है वो यू नो इट्स नॉट लिविंग अप टू इट्स विजन मिशन. व्हाई? बिकॉज उसके पॉलिसीज नहीं इस तरह के बने हुए, या सिंपल मे बी उसको उतना फंड नहीं मिल रहा है, उसका जो पेरेंट बॉडी है, इट्स नॉट सॉर्ट ऑफ, you know, paying the fee on time. As simple as not paying the fee on time is not going, you know, is going to make the institution weak in its functioning. So nothing exists in isolation. Then the biological perspective. You see, man, as I said earlier on, evolves. And how do they evolve? Number one, the genetic setup, the DNA. इंसान का डीएनए उसको हेल्प करता है अडेप्ट करने में और चेंज होने में, और दूसरा उसका जो सराउंडिंग में एनवायरनमेंट है वो उसको सपोर्ट करता है चेंज करने में. या अगर डीएनए में रिजिडिटी है और सराउंडिंग में भी रिजिडिटी है तो आप अडेप्ट नहीं करेंगे. I'll give an example over here. Many schools might have failed in this situation because internally, when we talk about the DNA of a school, it's the administration. Maybe the administration was not adaptable in their approach, and secondly, it was not getting the stimulus of change from outside. Okay. Then there's the service orientation perspective. Over here, the leader needs to be like a doctor. The funny thing is that when doctors treat people, every patient is different. So the doctor can't prescribe even the same medicine or the same mix of medicines for the same sort of, you know, same diagnosis, same disease. For example, I suffer from sulfur allergy and penicillin allergy. The doctor can never give me an antibiotic in any condition, whereas my brother and sister can take antibiotics. So the adaptive leader needs to use his expertise in order to diagnose problems and to sort of, you know, come up with solutions that are adaptive, that are for that specific problem, not solutions that you can copy and paste everywhere. Now there's the psychotherapy perspective, this is, I believe, in my opinion, the most important thing. You see, the more supportive you are towards people, the more you support them, the more you sort of help them realize the reality of the problem, and the more you motivate them, the more people learn, the more people adapt, and the more people are willing to change themselves. Motivation, giving supportive environments is, I think, the most important thing in today's world, especially. Okay, now what we are coming down is to the exact model of adaptive leadership. What is the model of adaptive leadership? Now we have already done this thing that there are technical challenges technical होते हैं, कुछ challenges technical और adaptive होते हैं, और कुछ challenges adaptive होते हैं. अच्छा, in the case जब challenges adaptive and technical हो या adaptive हो, leader को क्या करना है? Leader ने कौन सा model implement करना है? What does the leader need to do is get on the balcony. This doesn't really mean that, you know, you go and stand on your gallery. That doesn't mean that. It means you take a step back. I used to tell my students, and I also used to tell my team, okay, calm down now. This is what I used to tell them. Relax. Take a deep breath. Okay? Step back and identify the adaptive challenge in that problem, in that situation. Where am I, you know, what is actually causing that challenge not to be resolved? That is the gray area. The adaptive challenges are the gray areas. Okay. Now I've identified the gray area in my situation, which is right now COVID-19. Now COVID-19 caused a lot of distress. Now what do? Okay, team, calm down. We have COVID-19. This is the problem. School has closed down. Never mind. Kuch nahi hota hai. Take a deep breath. Discipline them. Okay? And then you come up with a solution and you delegate work. You can't fix that problem on your own. You tell one teacher, okay, now you need to learn Edmodo. All right, you are going to be in charge of learning Edmodo. The second teacher I tell, okay, now what you're going to do is you're going to design, you know, you're going to go for something which is known as instructional design. You're going to modify our content. The way we teach, you're going to modify it, and you're going to train other people. So I'm sort of now delegating responsibility to everyone on based on what? किस चीज के ऊपर मैं ये चीज बेस करूंगी? On the competency, on the skill level of that person. And I'm going to protect leadership voices from below. I am going to make sure that even that there is no rebellion, that my team does not rebel, that I'm protecting that leadership and that I'm nurturing it. And in the meanwhile, what am I doing? I have a holding environment. Now, holding environment was the term which was penned down by Heifetz. And he said that the leader and the follower need to have conversation. Like I remember when I was talking to the team of SIPD, it was an amazing moment for me. And I was just actually talking to them. That was a holding environment. And we did discuss certain problems. And they asked me a question. And I said that I believe that, you know, there needs to be someone after me to take up that leadership position. So the leader needs to talk to the followers. There needs to be clarity of communication. Why the clarity of communication? Because the followers are going to tell you, your team is going to tell you what is working and what is not working. And then sitting with them, you need to come up with solution B if solution A is not working. And that is the model of adaptive leadership. Okay. So we have already talked about what are some of the adaptive situations that can occur. Now, I want you to answer one very interesting question. किसी adaptive leader को क्या मसाइल स्कूल के अंदर face हो सकते हैं? What are the challenges that an adaptive leader can face within schools or within educational institutions? I'm leaving that question to you. Can you answer it? Because you see, leadership also has a lot of challenges. It faces a lot of challenges. Okay. Our leadership, I think, so adaptable all right. So anyone who can tell me कि एक adaptive leader को स्कूल के अंदर क्या चैलेंजेस फेस हो सकते हैं, अपने आप को उस जगह पे रख के देखें. पुट योर सेल्फ इन द प्लेस ऑफ अ लीडर, एन एडेप्टिव लीडर, एंड थिंक ऑफ द प्रॉब्लम्स दैट यू कैन फेस इन दैट सिचुएशन.
एक जो बड़ा चैलेंज जो फील होता है मुझे कि लोग जो है ना बड़ी आसानी से चेंज होने के लिए तैयार नहीं होते. दैट द पीपल हु हैव डूइंग थिंग्स इन अ ट्रेडिशनल वे फॉर सो मेनी इयर्स एंड देन विद अ न्यू सिचुएशन they are not be very adapted for the new क्या कहते हैं new solution, because most of the people are happy to face the challenge which has a fixed solution and then copy paste the problem and solution. But for the new time they are not taking risks and they are not going to be in a situation where they are required to try new things now. So one of the major challenge which I feel that people can face now as a leader.
One of the major things, like you said, is rigidity in people's approach. हम लोगों के अंदर resistance होती है, हम change को resist करते हैं, and maybe that is the reason that we don't evolve. Okay, if leader is adaptive and democratic, she would like to change their strategy. That should be for the better of school. And someone says followers resist to do modification in the work. I agree. And we have seen a lot of all this during this actual situation. Now, what has this taught us? This has taught us that maybe we should have been adaptive in our approach, like like before time. I think this is the lesson that we should learn. Okay, now I'm just wrapping up the session, and I just want some key takeaways from the session. Is that though it requires a great deal of effort, leadership of any type requires a great deal of effort, but adaptive leadership requires even more effort. Why? Because number one, it's facing a lot of challenges. It's facing a lot of people are resisting you a lot. Then you have to think about the future. You have to predict problems that might come up in the future, and you have to work according to that. The returns are more substantial. आप जितना ज़्यादा adaptive होते हैं, जितना ज़्यादा आप किसी चीज़ में effort डालते हैं, उतना ज़्यादा आपको layman language में profit मिलता है उसका, या उसका return मिलता है. Now, this is actually proven that adaptive work basically has both operational gains and financial gains. Like I was talking about Vision 2030 for the Middle East, for Middle Eastern countries. What is happening is that, people are not taking students out of their schools. They are financially secure, and operationally, obviously, they are successful. And when you are adaptive, आप किसी भी तूफान में से गुजरने को तैयार होते हैं. आपको पता होता है कि क्योंकि आप चेंज के लिए रेडी हैं, आप चेंज को सपोर्ट करते हैं, तो आपके लिए कोई भी मसला बहुत बड़ा नहीं होगा. Nothing is going to be too big for you. Okay, so in summary, adaptive leadership can be sort of summed up that it has four main principles. Distributed leadership, meaning I can't do everything on my own. I distribute tasks. Optimal talent mix, again, organizational justice comes here. Professional development, support to professional development comes here. Possessing a transparent character. A leader needs to be very transparent in who they are. I need to be who I am in front of my people and also behind my people. I can't support them in front of them, and I can't go back and tell, the administration or the management that my people are not working. It doesn't work that way. And I have to make them trust me. It has to be a two-way relationship. इस बात पे तो मैं कहती हूँ कोई भी relationship जो है वो उस वक्त तक सक्सीड नहीं करता जब तक वो टू वे नहीं होता, उसमें म्यूचुअल ट्रस्ट नहीं होता है. Okay, so again, the next 2 points are describing what I've actually described: distributed leadership and optimal talent mix. And a clear charter, that means that the company or team follows well-defined goals. What are my goals, objectives? What are my policies? What are my KPIs? KPIs are key point indicators. everyone needs to have KPIs. I have my KPIs, my key point indicators, which tell me, okay, now you have reached goal number 1 in your life. Now you're going to reach goal number 2. So basically, what needs to happen is that the vision, mission of the individuals of the organization and the organizational vision and mission need to be aligned. That is what needs to be done. And only then can we have adaptive leadership. We need to keep evolving. And that is where I'm going to tell you that if you have any questions, please do ask them.
मैं चाहूंगा कि साथ साथ आप वजिया से क्वेश्चन पूछें. थैंक यू वजिया फॉर वेरी प्रैक्टिकल एंड इंफॉर्मेटिव सेशन. मैं चाहूंगा कि मीनवाइल आप वजिया के सवालों के जवाब भी देते रहें और साथ साथ मैं लिंक शेयर करने वाला हूं, तो आप फीडबैक फॉर्म भी कुछ लोग भरते रहें और ताकि हम आपको ई सर्टिफिकेट भी दे सकें और आपका फीडबैक हमारे तक आ सके ताकि हम अपने आप को वजिया अपने सेशंस को इम्प्रूव कर सकें. तो प्लीज इस लिंक को क्लिक कर आप जो है ये भरते भी रहें और अपने सवालात पूछते रहें. थैंक यू.
थैंक यू सर. मैम मेरा इट्स माय क्वेश्चन. आई एम सजाद फ्रॉम जैकोबाद. एक्चुअली ये एडेप्टिव सिचुएशन के हवाले से जो आप बता रही थी, कैन इट बी काउंटेड के पेरेंट्स आर अनहैप्पी फ्रॉम द प्रोग्रेस ऑफ देयर children and students, so it can be a adaptive situation for a leader in a school?
Yes, it can be an adaptive situation for a school leader. Let me tell you why. Now you see, if one parent is unhappy, you can figure out what is wrong, right? You can definitely figure out either the class that the child is in, the child is not happy over there, or learning is not taking place properly over there, or maybe that the teacher is not explaining well, if it's one parent. But what if you have like 50% parent body from your whole school complaining to you? That is like half your school telling you that your school is not performing actually. That is adaptive. Now what do you need to explore? You need to explore actually your teacher competency, your teacher qualification, the way the content is being imparted in the classrooms. Do you have observation policies in place? What is the check and balance of how learning is going on? How are the assessments being conducted? There are so many things in that situation. And for that, number one, you need to do an analysis. An entire analysis needs to be, you need to identify areas in which parents are sort of not happy, and then you need to do an analysis on those areas and come up with a solution based on those areas. And then you need to do an impact analysis after implementing your solutions in order to know whether yes, the solution worked or it did not work.
Right. Thank you.
Okay, so the session is ending in about 9.5 minutes. So any other questions?
I just have a point to kick in this session is I think that it is all, why people resist for changes and adaptability of new techniques is there's a problem which I have seen all in my life working in teacher education is it is a matter of competency of people. A lot of times we assume or we just look at them and say, go and do something like this. And they can't do it. So they are always scared. They are afraid of you giving them some task. Are you asking them to do something? Because when you will ask them, can you do it? They will say, yes, I can. As you ask in the classroom whether the students have understood it. But when you go for formative assessment, you will see that they didn't understand it. So the culture is you don't say no, or you can't say that you can't do it. But the leader should be visionary enough to see the problems the followers is facing and might help in the competencies. Like this, the whole webinar session type of thing is entirely a new idea and people are using it for presentation. It's not actually a classroom teaching tool. So when you say go and teach on webinar to people, they're not actually teaching. It's a one-way lecture. Maybe some people might ask something in response, you ask them a question and they respond to it, but it is not a teaching tool because you are not actively participating and you are doing the listening thing, and you might come up with some questions and then you respond to it. So the important thing is you need to develop the people's capacity. And number two, which is very important for me, is why people are rigid. Sometimes the leaders are very rigid in their approaches. Why they are so? Because they are the vision carriers. They carry a vision and they have to take it to the end. Like if 75% of the parents, they come to me and say, your school is not performing well, I'm not satisfied, I would ask, the first thing I need to ask is, like, what is their thing which you are not satisfied? Conduct a survey and find out why they are thinking that the school is not performing well. If they are observing you on the type of grades you are giving to the students, then it's not a problem, give them grades. Or if they are talking about, if they don't know the quality of education, then you need to have a parenting session for quality of education. Tell them what is the quality education and how the country is going after the quality education. So we need to get ourselves acquainted on these things. Our idea should be very clear, because when parents come to me, I used to teach in a grammar school, and then some parents come to me and they said, no, you are not doing well. I said, okay, how? They said, no, the students, they don't have a homework. And I don't believe in homeworks. So, everything needs to be understood before responding to people. So that's the leadership. The leadership sets the vision, and the leadership follows the vision. And then you need to develop the capacities of the people so that they don't resist for change. These are 2 points I wanted to kick into the session.
And adding to your points, I would like to sort of request everyone here, not tell them, but request that, you see, as leaders in any capacity, it is our responsibility to convey the vision and mission of the organization and your own personal vision and mission as an educationist as well to the parents. Because you see, number one, I've seen that, you just hire someone, they have no induction training, and since they have no induction training, they don't know what the organization is about. So if they don't know what the organization is about, how will they do what you want them to do? But if you tell them that, okay, so and so is my vision, is the organizational vision, you will be more successful in getting results from them, and people will be less rigid to your approaches. They will have a deeper understanding of what you are. This is what I believe in. And I'd like to take this little few minutes to just thank everyone, and especially team SIPD. I had a lovely time, and this is the second interaction I've had with you people, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it. And I thank you people for sharing that vision and letting me share my vision.
Thank you very much, Ms. Wajiha. Yusuf was just running in and saying that, you need to give the vote of thanks. And I'm not good at speaking. Anyway, from the core of my heart, I'm very thankful to Ms. Wajiha for her session, for this wonderful session. In fact, a lot of time and resources and a lot of study goes into these sessions. So I'm thankful to her for contributing this much, and it was really a wonderful session. In fact, it was a very thought-provoking session. We need to read more about adaptive leadership so that we get ourselves, informed about that leadership before we embark on it, so that we don't just start on a webinar and then you find out that you're stuck somewhere and then you start cursing Wajiha that she gave you, put you on a wrong direction. It is just a thought-provoking session, so that we need to read more, go deeper into it. The leadership itself, when you go to leadership, Allama Iqbal has wonderfully said that Nigah buland sukhan dil nawaz jaan pursoz, yahi hai rakhte safar mere karwan ke liye. So there are 4 elements that goes into the leadership, and the vision is the first. Nigah buland, high expectations. So please go to the literature, find out more about it, write us email. Wajiha will be kind enough to respond to the emails and send you literature wherever it is possible. And thank you very much, everyone, for joining in. And thank you, sir, for facilitating the session. So thank you very much. And
you very
good.
much.
Yeah,
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, madam.
Thank you, Sajjad. Thank you.
So nice of you, sir.